Welcome. My name's Fola. If you're new here, nice to have you join. And those of you coming back, yeah, whether you're here live or catching the replay, I just wanted to come on this morning and I guess contemplate with you, talk about what life is looking like. Maybe some of you have been experiencing like a boredom, is how I want to describe it. Perhaps feeling like life just isn't as exciting as it could be or should be, or, from your own interpretation. And yeah, whatever other things come up. Ooh, hi, Kaylee. Good morning. Ooh, hi. I like that. I got this like new book I've been reading. I never really read like fiction novels. But the last like week and a bit, I've just been noticing my energy personally has been one of just wanting to like be and do nothing. And yeah, just be in the moment. And as a usually very over, I guess, an overworker, if I could call myself that, it's been like a interesting place to be operating from, where, we've grown up in this place or from this place of needing to prove our worth or do things in order to get the validation externally or however the case might be. I really do feel like this is how we're all programmed. Obviously, everyone's experience can be very different based on like what type of schooling you went through, how your parents were, or your caregivers. But yet, there's this like feeling of needing to prove or work to show worth or whatever the case might be. And yeah, that was just like throwing me for a loop, feeling this sense of like a lack of motivation. Really, why do the things that I'm doing or creating or in dreaming, I guess we could say. And so we went to the bookstore and I got just like a fiction novel, which I never really read. And I think it's called like the 40 the 40 Rules for Love, a story about Rumi or something like this, by a Turkish author. And it's been really great to read. It's been like inspiring in the sense that it's just sort of like putting me into this other world, uh, fantasy, I guess we could say, of envisioning something outside of my like normal reality, which is kind of refreshing in a way. But the main thing for me, the reason I picked that out specifically instead of my usual nonfiction and learning something, was just a sense of like, okay, instead of constantly needing to produce or create or be in this place of doing, what if I were to just imagine? Again, I feel like that word imagination has come up a few times, even in our readings the past few weeks. But yeah, where are you guys in your whole experience of this? Ooh, hi, abstract voice. Good morning or afternoon, wherever you are. That's my continuous feeling, but life is not that. Yeah, I feel like our life is not meant to be this continual pushing out of work or ideas or content. There's like this pressure to how I'm learning. It's like to continue feeding the machine of this world, the thing that's operating. And it's about like breaking out of that. So I shared the other day in the live around grief a bit about like some insights that I think, like some insights that had come up in my conversation with Chat GP, around the pause moment and what that looks like, why it might be happening, how it's an integration of our experience in this life. And I'm standing by that. I'm standing by that because I think that there's a reason that everything happens. And in order to, dare I say, stop or like kill the machine, right? What's that? Rage Against the Machine. Like this concept of killing this machine or the way it's operating currently in humanity. There is a need for us to do things differently. Oh, okay, there's comments. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to like talk and do this. Okay, I want to read so bad. Yeah, it's like, how do we carve out the time in our busy or full schedules? Hi, Delilah. Abundant peace. Yeah, thank you for being here. Oh, my mic is staticky. Oh, I'm not sure. Hopefully it'll be okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure how else to fix that. I've been there with consuming so much nonfiction. Everything becomes so serious and almost an addiction to productivity. When fiction feels like a breath of fresh air, a lot of information. Yeah, Kaylee. I'm always so resistant to reading fiction, but when I do, I can feel my energy getting lighter, more vibrant, more childlike and fun, less serious. Yeah, thanks for saying that because that's exactly what I feel like this killing the machine, killing the old way in which the universe or the world, I guess, has been operating as we enter into like new timelines. It's about this childlike playfulness. It's about being, again, that concept that we are human beings, not human doings. It's like, how can we really just allow ourselves? And so the invitation for you here is, if you grew up experiencing almost like a damnation of your playfulness or your childlike qualities of curiosity, of wanting to just chill, to do what felt like what you were feeling called to do, I just invite you to kind of like, what I want to say is like offer it up like a sacrifice, like seeing it as if it's on like an altar about to be sacrificed, like a smoke sacrifice or whatever, burning that up as the old way. That whatever the shame or guilt, the confusion you experienced around living life in that way, then perhaps that's something that you can just allow the past to be the past and trust that now you are going to welcome in that sense of being and live life the way you want to live life. And they say, like if you are working, and then you take a break, maybe you're spending time resting, but if you constantly are thinking about the things you need to do, you're not really allowing yourself to be in a rest place. You're still technically just working, or having like an output. And so, can you give yourself the permission from this moment forward to just be in the energy that you feel called to be? And that can be hard when it's like days upon days of that energy, I'm finding. The thing that's helping me is like spending time in nature. Because if you actually watch nature or sit in nature and just observe the world around you, the trees, the animals, all that stuff, humans even, like, because we're all nature, there's just this presence that it holds. And I feel like as humans, what we've done is we've kind of disconnected from that presence, that being, that, like a tree is just there swaying in the wind, being itself, emitting oxygen, taking in carbon dioxide, doing its like magical thing, just the way it operates. And that in itself is its way of existence and contribution to the world, contribution to all of life around it. And that's something I've been sitting with, is in that being and that like just present momentness, I think is really important for all of us. I just thought we could read together, go live, and viewers can grab their own book and read. Ooh, that's a cool idea. That's funny you say that, Abstract Voice, because someone else, Meredith, I think, had asked about a book club. And I was like, oh, well, we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that. Nature makes you change thoughts. Yeah, it changes our vibration. it shifts our vibration. We start to align with the vibration of this world that is. And I think when we can allow ourselves in that to just be and to like emulate, I guess, the natural world around us, because again, we are nature, then that like brings us more flow. And this doesn't mean that we're like always happy, always like feeling great. I think a lot of people are feeling almost this like stagnancy in life, feeling stuck, feeling like life should look or be different. And yet here they are. In the book I'm reading, it's like about like a housewife who then comes across kind of like the story of Rumi and the teachings, but she herself is in like an unhappy, I guess, family situation or relationship, doing the same thing day in, day out. And it's a bit about her stepping into like her own path. And I think many people are feeling like that or feeling stuck in that situation. And so if that's something you're going through, kind of like the solution, not even a solution, because like it's not like it's wrong or bad, a problem to be fixed. It's just for you to come to the understanding of yourself is to follow like the internal edge of one thing that feels true for you. And that might even look like a personal retreat, spending like a day or half a day completely by yourself, no distraction, no phone or technology. You know, if you could spend more than one day or multiple days going somewhere, camping or like whatever, let yourself explore what it is to be just with yourself and without any of these like external validators or external energies that seem to impact where you're at. Okay. Kaylee, I just got a puppy and it has been so beautiful to see the world through her eyes. Aw, everything is so new and it's been beautiful for me to experience and watch. Yeah. Oh, what's your puppy's name? I don't think I've seen pictures on Instagram. I never go on there, you guys. I do, and then I realize, oh, I've sent a message to someone and like 2 weeks later. Puppy life for me was just hectic. Yeah, I got lucky. This pup has moments of wildness, but she's mostly calm, so smart and intuitive, not always the common experience. Well, I'm glad it's working for you, Kayleen. And that's like a perfect example of something that you have to go with your personal intuitive nudge of what works for you. You know, some people love dogs, some people love cats. Like it's so subjective. And what's going to light up that sense of newness, playfulness, like, you know, me having like a niece gives that offer of playfulness, childlike wonder at that young age of like a 2-year-old. It doesn't mean I want like another kid. You know, it's like, let's just see and explore life and really, though, tap into what your own internal experience is. What is that teaching inside? And it's not always going to be rainbows and sunshine. There's going to be moments where you feel like it's life's dull. There's going to be moments where you feel like you just don't want to be here. And many of you, I think, have that connection like galactically, star seed nature, like an old soul, however you want to identify it, that this like very mundane existence of world life, human life can seem a little bit, yeah, dull. And that's why it's important to reconnect to yourself, reconnect to the like natural world around you, reconnect to the divinity. So I have the Shem book here that kind of came through. We'll just like maybe divine for like what a name is that we can meditate on. These are the 72 names of the Shem Hamefarash. They're like these, they're based off of the book of Exodus, these 3 verses. And for me, when I'm like feeling an energy of uncertainty or stuckness or yeah, just like overall, like, oh, you know, it's not about washing that away so that I can like feel happy. It's about coming to an understanding about what's going on and allowing that energy to be there and trusting that in time, with that awareness and that willingness to just be with it, it will start to like alchemize, it'll shift. And yeah, this book is like my magical grimoire. You can get a copy of this if you want. The link's in the description. But we're gonna do a meditation on this in a moment. So we're kind of doing a reading together. I'll read a bit about the name that's chosen, and we'll see what moves. Kaylee says, oh, am I missing a comment? I don't know. I got lucky. Okay. Her name is Rhubarb. Ruby. Aw. Rhubarb. That's cute. I didn't do my homework. My puppy was all opposite, hyper, and I'm calming. I wish I just stuck with cats. Oh, no puppies. Okay, well, what name shall come to us today around this energy so we can transmute and gain the insights? Because I just want to like say that too, in like the spiritual community and world, everything seems to be so like, oh, it's got to be majorly like inspiring and a huge profound insight or like experience. And I don't feel like that's really how life is. Sometimes it can be, but like don't beat yourself up if it's not. And anyone who tells you that it needs to be is, yeah, lying to you. Okay, we have name number 24. Chaho, Chet He Vav, or He Va. This has a number of 19, like a gematria value of 19 when we add all those 3 letters up. Interestingly enough, it relates to the path of the Strength card, which links between Chesed and Gebura. So on the Tree of Life, we have 2 spheres at our shoulders, like left and right. Technically, the right side sphere, if you were to back into the tree, would be Gebura, which is like the sphere of severity. The king riding on the chariot, whereas Chesed, the sphere of like mercy, is like the king ruling from the throne and sort of like a balanced state. So it's this path between that runs like this. And it's like the path that's kind of like parallel to the invisible space of the abyss, where things can get like really dark. And to me, that's sometimes what I think a lot of people are experiencing, whether it's a dark night of the soul or like a depression, a spiritual depression. This like abyss state is like the nothingness, the void in which we come to the higher realms, the higher supernal triangle, as we call it on the Tree of Life. So the path 19 is this path of strength. Other words that this is associated to, which it's interesting, there's 2. The Hebrew word oyev, which is an enemy, and also in the full gematria. So when all those 3 letters are spelt out with like a bunch of other letters, we'll get into that. It equals another number, which also has an equivalent word of dragon or Satan, Theli. So I find that fascinating if we think about an enemy, Satan, the mind, the ego being this sort of like aspect of ourselves that tries to be it's an adversary. That's what Satan is, adversary. Something that creates this pressure for us to grow, like the diamond, okay? So this name is connected to Luna in Cancer, the moon in Cancer, the 4 of Cups, Lord of Luxury, and the psalm associated with it is Psalm 34:9. Comprehend and see that the Lord is good. Praiseworthy is the man who takes shelter in him. I think in one of the tarot classes we talked about the sort of like connection that strength and then the other 2 paths, I think it's the Wheel of Fortune and the Hangman, create together, kind of linking the other spheres, and it creates like a shelter. It creates this like covering. Comprehend and see that the Lord is good. Praiseworthy is the man who takes shelter in him. And a little insight about this name. This name will humble you to receive from Spirit. There are many reasons why one may have difficulties receiving blessings from the universe. This name will shine a light on what those are and allow for new possibilities of receiving. The recommendation here is to bow on your knees in humility to life. And I'm pretty sure this was the name when I was like kind of going through the exploration of the 72 names in like a year and a half long working. I found myself in that position of genuflection, literally being on my knees in prayer, which as a kid, my dad would be like, get on your knees and pray. And I'd be like, I don't want to, it hurts. Like this, like, I just had such a resistance to it. Also just probably not wanting to be told what to do. I like this concept of the humility. And we're going to go through the meditation here in a bit on the name. I'll just show it to you here. Chet, He, Vav. So when we read Hebrew, we go from right to left. We got the concept of Luna and Cancer. We got the Four of Cups. We have the sigil of this name. And we have the two different versions in which the name can be like pronounced, along with the tetragrammaton, so the four-letter banner of the name. And that is itself tied to the sign of Cancer, this particular permutation. It's He, Vav, He, Yod, instead of Yod, He, Vav, He. Oh, so there's so many things we can do with this. We're going to just wing it and see what wants to show up for you so that you can receive in a very humble way. So if it helps for you to have your eyes closed, you can do so. And taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just allowing your feet to be planted on the floor, the earth beneath you. And taking another big inhale. And dropping shoulders down, allowing the weight of your body to bring you to stillness on that exhale. And just tuning into the energy of your body, the presence of whatever is there with you now today. What emotions, what thoughts, what feelings may be showing up for you. And we're not here to change anything. It's almost like you could see this experience of a thought, an emotion, or a sensation as an aspect of your divinity. And just imagining now for a moment you sort of bowing in humility, in respect to this part of your experience. Maybe just acknowledging, I don't know everything. I don't know what always is going on. I don't always get it right. Whatever that acknowledgement is, just being willing to be humble here in this moment. And we're going to vibrate the name, so you can say it along with me, or you can just hear and sense the vibration as we do this meditation. Focusing on just whatever is showing up for your awareness, focusing on the vibration or your breath, and trusting the process. Chet, He, Vav, 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 Chet Hey 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 Vav, Cha O, Cha Ho, 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 Ha 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 he va, 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 ha he vav, chet he vav, chet he vav, chet he vav, hey chet vav, hey yod vav, hey chet vav, hey yod vav, hey chet vav, hey yod vav. Hey, chet, vav, hey, yod, 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 hey, vav, yod. And just noticing the energy. Noticing that subtle vibration of chet, hey, vav. Comprehend and see that the Lord is good. Praiseworthy is the man or woman who takes shelter in him. And on your next inhale, it's opening eyes as you return back. So another, feel free to share what you'd like to share in the comments, but I just wanted to point out the other word that 19, the number 19 equals is Yehob, which is Job, the name Job. And that story of Job in the Old Testament, that man who had everything working out for him, family, full family, all the wealth, all the experiences, whatever. And then what happened? Satan, actually, the adversary, that other angelic being in the court of the divine, said to God, well, I bet you Job only worships you because, he has everything he wants, because everything's bright and sunny. And if you just let me, have a little fun, I can see if he'll hold his faith. And God's like, okay, sure. I think a lot of people don't realize that, like, God works very closely with these energies that have been, like, damned, by human perspective. But yeah, and then the story of Job goes on to have this experience of Job losing everything, having nothing, being at like the lowest of the low, and uncertain as to why, and people around him, friends, trustworthy companions being like, you must have done something wrong. Like, no, you didn't do anything wrong if your life seems like boring or off, or things aren't working out in your favor. Like, this is part of that hero's journey. And in the end, Job gets everything back, so to speak, or like recreates his life in a way that's even more abundant, more full. Not because that's what he wanted, but just that was his test, I guess we could say, his experience. So I don't know, I felt like I had to share that too. Whatever you're going through, no, you don't have to go alone in that experience. If you'd like to work more with the Shem HaMephorash, the names, the 72 aspects of God, you can check out my book. It's on Amazon. You get this lovely copy. I like the hard copy because then I can like hold it. It's kind of like more firm, and you can see the different talismans and the sigils and all the other fun things that are in here to work with these names zodiacally. So with the different 12 like zodiac signs, the different angelic beings. And yeah, I don't know. I love this stuff. And yeah, life can be exactly the way we need it to be or want it to be when we can just allow the process or the flow of it. So thanks all for being here. We'll have another live next Monday, unless I feel like I need to create more. And I'm hoping to have the Explore the Tarot key on the next video, which is on death. Ooh, 3333. That's going to be coming out hopefully this Friday. So if you'd like to join in then, all this like energy of like, what's the possibility with death, with this adversarial energy, with the negativity. There's so much power in the pain, but we don't have to live stuck in the pain. Just trust. So thanks all. Hope you have a great day. And until the next time, bye.